The title of this story is Death Date, a Plot Twist at Oakland Cemetery by Adon B. This ain't no secret garden, so you flowers again flee. Outcast, claiming true. First dates can be tricky. No matter how much sleuthing that can be done in this internet era, you're never really quite sure what to expect prior to the face-to-face meetup. This Saturday is no different. It is Atlanta. It is the afternoon. It's autumn, which is to say it is fake fall. Summer is not yet done, but rather rope-a-doping the crisp season to come, like Ali before it returns with the heat for which it's known. Much like the Falcons with the lead, it won't keep. It is Ria's Bluebird, where the forks clack plates and grease from the bionic breakfast soak up hangovers. It's been said that bluebirds signify a spiritual connection or personal transformation or a fresh start. I'm not sure about that. But what I know to be true is that here I sit at a cramped table across from a lovely woman by the name of Serene while she tells me a lot about what I don't know.
My elders say how you live your Iyawo year is how Orisha will treat you. And as Lokami, I believe you wear the white for sacrifice and for your protection.
I nod knowingly. I do not know what she means.
I've lost you, haven't I?
What gave it away?
You have that spaced out look in your eye that I see from time to time in my nephews.
She continues by asking if I have a spiritual practice. I one-up her by not answering the question and changing the subject. How long have you lived here? After a slight roll of the eyes, she acquiesces.
I came here for undergrad and just ended up staying. What about you?
Born and raised.
For real? Y'all going extinct. I didn't even know they still made you.
She laughs between bites of the country fried tempeh. I mean, I shrug, leaning back in my seat. Old Atlanta's still here. Flu Lana ain't won just yet.
Flu who?
Flu Lana, I say more assertively. There's Flu Lana and Gru Lana. Pretty self-explanatory.
Can you explain it to me like it's not?
Okay, let's see. Flu Lana folks say things like Hot Lana. Complain about traffic while sitting in the car, contributing to it. Eat at Varsity or one of those bougie black brunch spots with the grass walls, hookah, and twerking. There are those that flew here and those who grew here. And what Goody Mob say? If you don't like where I stay, fly away.
Ah, okay, so it's like a nativist thing.
She says jokingly, raising her fist in light mockery.
Like the South shall rise again, but for like black folks.
See, this is why I don't mess with y'all. You got jokes. I can't suppress a chuckle before turning a bit more serious. Nah, I'm just saying, so many folks come to this city without really bothering to accept what it is and live here. They'll be here for 20 plus years, get married, start a family, have children, retire, and still be quick to say, don't get it confused, I'm from Brooklyn, Philly, Cali, wherever. Meanwhile, their entire meaningful adult life has happened inside the perimeter. At some point, you just gotta own that this is home.
That's real.
She agrees. Like, take yourself. How much have you seen of the city? Like, really seen? Looking beyond her, I stare out the front window and lot across Memorial Drive. You ever been to Oakland? I ask.
Like E40 and that one football guy with the dreads who eats Skittles?
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, like him. E40 Fonzarelli, Sweetie, Hammer, Too Short, and...
No. I cut her off before she goes any further. I could see it was getting good to her. Oakland Cemetery. Tracing my gaze, Serene turns around and looks out the storefront window, beyond the huddled, eager brunchers awaiting their party's name to be called and beyond the condensed parking lot and busy street, to the perimeter stone walls in the near distance.
Oh, over there? Nah, I don't do cemeteries.
What you mean you don't do cemeteries? Why you acting scary?
Scary ain't got nothing to do with it. Graveyards ain't no place to visit recreationally. I'm gonna make my way there anyhow eventually. We all will. I'd just rather not visit prematurely.
A smile bordering on a smirk slides across my face. Sound like you're scared. Look, it's not even dark. The sun is out. We can just head on over there, take a quick look, do an informal tour, and continue with our day. Besides, as I lean in closer to shrink the distance between us, I think you're enjoying our conversation, and you might, just might, enjoy spending more time with me. From the glint in her russet brown eyes, I could see that the flirtatious assumption was at least not totally incorrect. She does that thing where the budding affection has been named before you're ready for it to be, so you change the subject. But being that I had done it earlier, I couldn't protest too much. Clocked adequately, she retorts.
You know, the word scary doesn't mean afraid, right? It actually means the exact opposite of afraid.
I do, patiently waiting for her to continue. After realizing I'm not going to make this any easier for her, she relents. She lets out a long, exaggerated, and exasperated for effect sigh before saying,
Okay, let's go before I change my mind. I should have known you were trouble when I agreed to see you.
I motion for the server to bring the check. What's a good first date without a little adventure? The city is different on Saturdays. As we cross the intersection at Cherokee Avenue, we chat the way folks tend to do when they're intent on losing track of time. I learn about Serene's childhood in Chicago and her desire to eventually retire from her medical practice to manage a small floriculture greenhouse. I tell her about my colorful siblings and life growing up in the SWATs. We wander along the sidewalk, deciding to enter the grounds through the main entrance facing Oakland Avenue. The Oakland Cemetery perimeter stone wall features the most abundant material throughout the ample green space. While it would be easy to think that marble or granite dominate the landscape, it is, in fact, bricks. Whether in pathways, gutters, bell tower buildings, or mausoleums, bricks like those present in the stone wall anchor its aesthetic. Home to famous authors like Margaret Mitchell, author of Gone with the Wind, and golf legends like Bobby Jones, as well as country music stars like Kenny Rogers. Oakland Cemetery is a testament to many storied lives, messy and contradicting ones like 27 previous Atlanta mayors, including the city's first Black mayor, Maynard Jackson, within shouting distance of Confederate soldiers and former Confederate vice presidents and Georgia governors like Alexander Hamilton Stevens. The iron gates open with a gentle creak. Golden hour light filters through the canopy of ancient oaks and maples, their leaves transformed into a tapestry of burnt orange, deep crimson, and honey yellow that rustles softly overhead. The air carries the crisp autumn bite that makes us walk closer together along the winding paved paths. We're taken by the breathtaking lushness of the gardens, these carefully curated beds of heirloom roses, sprawling azaleas, and native wildflowers bloom between the monuments in a riot of seasonal color. Victorian monuments rise like silent sentinels around every bend, their weathered marble catching the slanted sunlight in ways that seem almost ethereal. Angel statues with moss-softened wings watch over elaborate headstones while towering obelisks cast long shadows across the rolling hills. The cemetery unfolds like a sculpture garden where stories are carved in stone, each elaborate memorial telling tales of Atlanta's past. We find ourselves reading inscriptions aloud to each other, voices dropping to reverent whispers that somehow feel more intimate than regular conversation. The view opens up as we climb toward the highest points, revealing the downtown Atlanta skyline in the distance, its glass towers beginning to twinkle as evening approaches. The contrast is striking, this peaceful, historic sanctuary surrounded by the bustling modern city. The temperature is dropping just enough for us to see our breath occasionally, and the sky is starting to blush with the first hints of sunset pink. As darkness begins to creep between the trees, the cemetery transforms into something even more enchanting. The place feels alive with history and beauty, romantic in a way that surprises us both. And while the grounds feel peaceful and profound, I'd be lying if I didn't acknowledge that it's also a bit morbid and macabre. Realizing that we had not planned to be on our feet for so long, we decided to sit down beneath one of the many oak trees in the northeast section of the grounds. I remarked that I hadn't realized the expansiveness of the cemetery, to which Serene simply replies,
Did you know we're in the slave burial section?
What?
We're in Slave Square. Apparently it's where Black people had to be buried during segregation.
Serene continues, reading the sign verbatim.
In 1852, the Atlanta City Council ruled that African Americans must be buried apart from whites at Oakland Cemetery. The council set aside a section of land on the northeastern corner of Oakland's original 6 acres. This area came to be known as Slave Square.
Wow.
Damn. In 1877, the city council ordered the removal of the bodies and bones of the African Americans buried in Slave Square. They were reburied in Oakland's colored pauper grounds. The grave spaces in Slave Square were then replotted and resold to whites.
Perpetual segregation. That's crazy. Suddenly, a voice emerges from beneath the surface, a whisper that feels as pronounced as a shout.
Do you know what it feels like to be gentrified in death?
Air, and perhaps time itself, seem to stop. A shiver swallows my spine, but I refuse to let Serene notice. What was that? I ask as calmly as I can. She pauses for what feels like an eternity before offering.
If that wasn't you, the better question is, who was that?
It's me. Down here.
The voice returns. This time, noticeably, not coming from anywhere around us, but from underneath us. Both Serene and I lock eyes before making the silent calculation to look down. It is then that we notice that the audio is emanating from beneath the grass and dirt, reverberating like the seismic hum, low-frequency waves in the form of intelligible, syntactic English language.
I was hoping you two would make your way over here. Interesting choice for a first date. We've been observing you all afternoon into the night.
Still too stunned to speak, the voice picks up on our fear and astonishment.
Please don't be afraid. My name is Azebo. We've been waiting for you.
Mustering a courage I wasn't sure I possessed, I managed to reply with a coherent thought that would make it seem as though this was a normal conversation. In a city known for stranger things, the voice, Azebo, did not feel like a stranger. I asked, Azebo? Barely getting the words out. Who are you, and what are you doing down there?
Hey, young man. Well, I've been here for a while. I don't know, 160, 170 years or so. I'm not sure, I've lost track of time. But really, what is time anyway? I used to live up there with y'all. I was born enslaved and died young at the hands of those who loathed my humanity. We all find it so interesting, all that work to separate, discriminate, and downplay one another. It's in vain. People don't realize that these places, the cemeteries, they are the great equalizer. There's no escaping it. No matter what's done in life, everyone eventually finds themselves here.
Serene shoots me a quick look as if to say, I told you so. She interrupts.
You keep saying we. Who are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that probably does sound strange. I'm not here alone. There are more than a few of us who reside in the down below. Mrs. Marie Antoinette Woolfolk Taylor, who was only a generation removed from slavery, founded the first sorority established by and for Negro women and AKAs. Pretty girls wear 20 pearls even in death. The mother of orphans, Mrs. Carrie Steele Logan, is with us. It's true that she done all what she could in life, but she's finally been able to get her rest. Been here for a while too. It's been so long since we've been above ground. But from time to time, we like to check on things that are going up there. So how's it going?
I'm not sure what it was exactly, but finally, the magnitude of the moment overwhelms me. No longer sure if I'm hallucinating or if something was slipped in the lavender lemonade from brunch earlier, but I've had enough. I start to unload. Up here? Bruh, I'm not even gonna hold you. This is blowing me. You're speaking from what, the grave? This ain't normal. What the f is going on? And now you asking us about life up here casually? What is really happening? Are you even alive? What the heck? Are you trapped? You need help? I begin looking around the empty graveyard frantically for a shovel or any instrument that can be used for digging, not really even sure how I've managed to mobilize into action. I'm intent on liberating him. I start shouting, just keep talking. We can hear you. We'll get you and your people out. Azebo responds calmly.
Whoa, slow down, son. First off, We're your people too. All of us are. We've existed down here for years, decades, centuries even, watching body after body planted into these graves. We've seen Union and Confederate soldiers and civilians, Christians and Jews, wealthy and the destitute, all buried here before moving on. It's a thin line between graveyards and gardens. It's really just a matter of what you're putting into the soil. And secondly, you ask if we're alive.
Azebo ironically takes what appears to be a deep breath.
That's an interesting question. I feel more alive now here than I ever did when I was up there. You know, I was actually lynched at the age of 22. I was hung not too far from here by the oak trees over yonder. Terror can make you afraid of natural things. Do you know how long it took me to forgive the trees? How long it took me to realize that the land is not the criminal, but just the scene of the crime? My brother Willie was burned alive at 4 years old. My other brother John was the first Negro buried here. Grave number 1, row 1 south. They said he died at age 14 of complicated diseases. That disease was slavery. That disease was racial terror. And to be honest, it's not that complicated. It's all good though. He's down here with me. So is Willie, my wife Sookie, and my beautiful baby girl Lillian. Countless others. We've got a nice little community here. A good one. That's how we've made it this long. That's how we'll continue to make it. So no need to worry about us.
Serene, observing while stunned, managed to ask the million-dollar question.
Azebo, if you've been there this long, why don't you want to leave?
Leave?
Yeah, leave. I mean, the country you knew back then isn't the same one now. So much has happened, so much progress for our people. It's not perfect, sure, but we've made this a more perfect union. I can't imagine the life you had to endure back then, Azebo, but by your own admission, you weren't free. Now we are. At least we can live as we want to live, can come and go as we please. We don't have slavery anymore. We can make money. Hell, it's cliche, but we even had a black president. Don't you want to come up and experience this? After all these years, after all this time, you don't have to live underground anymore.
Azebo doesn't respond. For 30 seconds, then a minute, then another. It's at this point I begin to think that whatever this was, this delirium, this our shared hallucination has worn off, or that this ghost of slavery's past apparition has been frightened to the point of retreating to where he had come. Exchanging glances with Serene, I call out, "Azebo?" At which point, Azebo finally responds.
When I was a boy, growing up in Fayette County, I was nearly killed by Massa, Mr. Hammonds, for trying to learn how to read. I wanted an education. My great-grandson Amos would eventually die while attending only segregated schools. In y'all's opinion, has education improved for the Negro?
Serene, starting to respond, pauses for a moment before saying,
Yeah, well, yes, but also, to be honest, school segregation has returned in many areas through residential segregation and school choice policies, funding disparities.
I see. In my lifetime, I saw multiple presidents and administrations all the way through a civil war. I'm curious about the politics of it all nowadays. What's our voting power like today?
Okay, well, yeah, that's a difference. The 15th Amendment was passed, which in essence gives Black people the right to vote.
Initially content with listening, I couldn't help but feel the need to share, or at least provide some context. Yeah, while Serene's correct, the reality is that voter suppression continues through gerrymandering, voter ID laws, purging of voter rolls, and reduced polling locations in our neighborhoods. Azebo, it's actually illegal to give someone a glass of water while they're in a long line to vote, not to mention the millions who lose voting rights due to felony convictions. Serene shoots me a look. I shrug as if to say, I'm just being honest.
And so when you say slavery has been abolished,
Azebo asks, leading the witness.
The 13th Amendment makes involuntary servitude and slavery an exception for those who've been convicted of a crime.
A story as old as time.
Sounding like he's shaking his head, Azebo continues.
You know those bricks you were admiring earlier, courtesy of the Chattahoochee Brick Company, a company that utilized convict leasing, grueling, inhumane conditions in the sweltering Georgia sun for no pay, from then until now.
I complete the sentiment. The prison system incarcerates black folks at rates far exceeding our percentage of the population. Sentencing disparities, plus police violence and excessive force. Cop City, that bullshit they say is a police safety training facility, that was built not even 15 minutes from here. Created and approved in light of the 2020 racial uprisings and killing of Rayshard Brooks.
Yeah, we heard about that down here. Serene.
Azebo addresses her directly.
My beautiful wife, Sookie, while living, was forced to shoulder the horrors and indignities of repeated sexual assaults and violence since before she really even knew her own body. What's it like now for Negro women?
Resuming her role as a practicing physician, Serene responds almost reflexively.
Maternal mortality rates for Black women are significantly higher. Health disparities persist across nearly every major health condition. Medical bias affects pain assessment and treatment quality. Life expectancy gaps remain substantial.
You said you can make money now, live anywhere now, that you're free. So does that mean Negroes are thriving on those fronts?
I would not use the word thriving, I weigh in. The racial wealth gap is huge, with median white family wealth being, 10 times that of black families. Black unemployment is about double those of whites. Serene picks up where I left off.
So fair housing laws exist, but housing discrimination is still a thing. Environmental racism is still a thing, with data centers popping up everywhere Black folks live. Sundown towns are still a thing.
Got it. And I knew my presidents were racist. After all these years and with all that's changed, is the current president racist?
Serene and I look at each other again, this time much more resigned to the cold, harsh reality. Azebo takes what appears to be a deep breath again.
Let me just say, I appreciate the concern from both of you. Really, I do. Don't lose that desire to help those of us in need. It's that care and compassion for the community that's ultimately going to save you. But on behalf of those of us down here, we'll respectfully decline your invitation to join y'all up there. Here, where we are, where we've been, feels like home. It feels like freedom, unlike anything we've known while living. We're connected to the earth and maybe much more importantly, to one another. The before and after, our ancestral lineage. We feel the bonds of community here because we have each other. Not too long ago, one of you above grounders found over 800 of our graves. They said we were unmarked. But the truth of the matter is that our existence was ignored in life. So in death, it's nothing new. We were marked, just not recognized. We had placed wooden headboards, field stones, or plants, shells, broken glass, all manner of things that matter to us. It just didn't matter to them. Black lives matter, and so do black deaths.
I remember hearing about that. I offered without even realizing I had spoken.
Yeah, well, let me just say, there are so many more of us that haven't been discovered. And to be honest, we're fine with that.
Serene and I wait for Azebo to continue. And we keep waiting. And keep waiting. And it's not until we realize that the darkness has engulfed the burial grounds fully that we can acknowledge he's no longer with us. We walk in silence, exiting the tombstone world of marble and memory. The silence feels sacred, heavy with something unnamed. Our footsteps echo differently now on the sidewalk outside, more concrete, more real, as if we've crossed back from some liminal space where time moved more slowly and the air held centuries in its breath. The streetlights cast pools of amber on Memorial Drive, harsh and electric compared to the gentle glow we'd walked through hours before. Serene wraps her arms around herself, not quite from cold, and I notice the way her eyes are still distant, still somewhere between the angel statues and the grand mausoleums. The city hums around us, A passing car, someone's music thumping faintly in the distance, but it feels intrusive, almost violent after the cemetery's profound quiet. An all-black Toyota Camry. Mos Def and Talib Kweli are Black Star. Astronomy eighth light. It don't stop till we complete this, keep this fly. There's so much to life if you just stay black and die. It don't stop till we complete this, keep this fly. There's so much to life when you just stay black and die. We walk slowly, instinctively, neither of us wanting to break whatever spell has settled upon us. The night air is cool and carries the scent of dying leaves and distant wood smoke, autumn's melancholy perfume beneath the moon. We find ourselves at the corner of Memorial and Wood, outside the local pub and fish house, 6 feet under, unsure what to do. Serene finally breaks the silence.
I've been thinking about your Flulanta, Grulanta comment from earlier, and I don't know if it's that black and white. It leaves out a key demographic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what about Bulanta? Get it? Like ghosts? A Zebo? No?
Serene offers with a sheepish grin.
Not funny? Not even a courtesy laugh?
I can't help but chuckle because her awkward sense of humor is as cheesy and corny as it is endearing. It serves as a necessary totem, bringing me back to the reality of the here and now. Oakland Cemetery has made us both acutely, almost painfully aware of being alive right now. In this moment, on this street, together. Looking back toward the cemetery's dark silhouette against the Atlanta skyline, the city sparkles with life and noise and movement, but Serene and I carry the stillness with us. That reverential quiet that comes from having walked among those who can't walk anymore. Somewhere between mortality and meaning, we both realize that whether it's an awkward first date or a 50th anniversary, it's all borrowed time made precious by its impermanence. Yes, indeed, first dates can be tricky. Almost as tricky as death dates.